Good day everyone. My name is Muhammad Sabatin and we are tasked to convert the Module 7 to video presentation. And we are tasked to discuss the following. First one is the poetry. State the summary of each poem in 5 sentences. Discuss the persona, setting, theme, and lessons that can be found in the poem. So the poems are the following. Mother Goose Nursery Rhymes, The Owl and the Pussycat by E. Lear, Jabberwocky by L. Carroll, Little Red Riding Hood by Dahal, and Life Doesn't Frighten Me by Angelo. The second task is to discuss or give the summary of each picture's book or each picture book in 5 sentences. Discuss the setting, theme, characters, and lessons. So the picture books are the following. The Very Hungry Caterpillar, The Cat in the Hat, The Giving Tree, and lastly, Where the Wild Things Are. So the first one is Mother Goose. So Mother Goose is a character that originated in children's fiction. It is a character that appears in pantomime tracing its roots way back 1806. Some reports say that it is a fictitious old woman, reputedly the source of the body of traditional songs, traditional nursery or traditional children's songs and verses known as the nursery rhymes. Mother Goose was first associated with nursery rhymes in an early collection of the most celebrated songs and lullabies of all British nurses, Mother Goose's Melody or Sonnets for the Cradle, in the year 1781. It is published by the successor of one of the first publishers of children's books, John Newbery. The legend of Mother Goose is actually an actual person, an actual Boston woman named Elizabeth Goose, Vergus or Verdigos. Mother Goose's name was identified with English collection of stories and nursery rhymes popularized in the 17th century. The next one is The Owl and the Pussycat. It is a cheerful and memorable poem learned by many children. It is a 3-verse nonsense poem about an owl and a cat who fell in love and sailed away in the land where the bong tree grows. It is loved for its amusing images, such as the pea green mentioned in the poem, a wedding ring from a piggy wig's nose, and soothing rhymes such as you are, and the happy ending, which is the two of them were married. It added a new term to the language, such as the runcible spoon, which is very uncommon to us. The Owl and the Pussycat was chosen as it is the favorite character of the author. The poem was written by Edward Lear to entertain a friend's 3-year-old daughter when the daughter was ill in the year 1871. Edward Lear was born in 1812, and he was a sickly child with a taken for drawing who went on to paint birds and landscapes. He began writing absurd verses, such as A Child, and in 1846, he published a book of nonsense. So the poem was revolved around the theme of love and affection and joy. The setting was in the sea, and the moral story is just like that. The love and also the loyalty and the faithfulness of one lover to another. The next one is the Jabberwocky, written by Lewis Carroll, who has become one of the most prominent names in children's literature. The English poet and writer is known for his creative works. He centered his work around children's fiction alongside being a mathematician, logician, photographer, and also a lecturer. So the Jabberwocky is a 7-stanza poem divided into sets of 4 lines. The poem begins with the speaker using strange and unknown words to describe the scene. The speaker tells his son to be aware of the Jabberwock, It has claws that bite, it has jaws that bite, and claws that catch. And the sun in this scene went for hunting for this creature. The sun was prepared to meet the creature with his sword. After some time, finally the creature appeared, and a fight occurs between the two, where the son defeated the Jabberwock and went back to his father. His father embraces him out of happiness, and both of them celebrated for this success, or for this um, yes, for the reason that the son has slain this creature. He has slain the Jabberwock. So the theme for the Jabberwocky revolves around the triumph of good over the evil. And the setting is in the forest, and the lesson is good versus evil. The next one is Little Red Riding Hood and the Wolf. So it was written by Roald Dahl, who was a British novelist, short story poet, screenwriter, and also a fighter pilot during the World War II. He is considered as one of the greatest storytellers for children of the 20th century. He wrote 21 books for children, picture books, novels, and poetry collection. So the story or the poem starts with the wolf gets hungry and went to Grandma's house. And then, because of the wolf was hungry, he ate Grandma. He ate he ate the Grandma in one bite, but isn't satisfied enough. But the wolf isn't satisfied yet, so he took Grandma's clothes and wore them. He is anticipating or waiting for the arrival of Little Red Riding Hood. And when the little girl or so we talk normally, and Little Red Riding Hood asked him about his fur coat. The wolf decided to eat her, but however, Little Red Riding Hood, when the wolf was about to attack her, she pulls a pistol from her knickers and shot the wolf in the head, and the wolf was dead on the spot. So the theme and the moral lesson are practically identical: the danger of trusting personal information to strangers, disobeying one's parents. That is why everyone must obey the parents. The setting is in the village, the forest, and Grandma's house. So the next one is about Life Doesn't Threaten Me by Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou was an American memoirist, poet, and a civil rights activist. She was known for her empowering verse, autobiographical works, and her role in advocating for women and African American writers. So the theme of the poem revolves around overcoming fear and strength, and also the everyday life. The poem tells us about a child who found a way to overcome fear in her life. She repeats the refrain, "Life doesn't frighten me at all," several times. It reminds the reader as well as the speaker what she's trying not to feel. It led the reader to go through each of the things that normally scare a child and negates each one of them. However, at the end of the poem, one might doubt about the speaker's actual feelings, if she honestly states, or perhaps she is hiding a bit of her real fear. So the setting of the poem was actually not really mentioned so there's no specific setting for this poem. So now let's proceed with the picture books. The first one is The Very Hungry Caterpillar. It is a picture book about the life of a young, hungry caterpillar who seeks food to transform himself, or to transform itself from being a caterpillar into a beautiful butterfly. So the caterpillar eats his way almost days of the weeks. On his way of searching for food, it enjoys delicious foods such as fruits, sweets, and even leaves. But however, it ended up aching his stomach because of too much eating. But somehow he was able to soothe the aching of his stomach by eating green leaves. And at the end of this story, or at the end, he transformed into a beautiful butterfly by eating this green leaf. So the theme of the so the theme revolves around transformation and also the growth. Setting, no specific setting, and the moral of the story is avoid eating too much, especially foods that is not really nutritious to the body and healthy foods. So the next one is the cat in the hat. So the cat in the hat starts with two children, Sally and Sam, are home alone and having a dull day, having a boring day. Suddenly they are graced with a surprise visit from a stranger, which is an eccentric cat, that comes in to entertain the two as well as to entertain himself. He also answers um, that their mom won't wait won't mind his toys and tricks, makes a very big mess. So the cat created a very big mess just to entertain the two children as well as to entertain himself. But the question arises is what trust is and who you can trust. The the cat has two things. The cat has two things to entertain the two. One of them saw their mother from a distance, in which the other said, "Enough. This is all enough." Because as one of the child saw their mom at distance, the other one said that this is all enough and everything must be fixed before mom arrives. And it is after cleaning all of the mess, the mom entered the house and as if nothing happened because the two of them didn't even say even a word about what happened. So the theme of the theme of that is revolves around trust, lying, responsibility, and the moral lesson is to be careful in every action you do, for every action has its own consequences. And the setting is inside the Sally and her brother's house on a rainy day. The characters involved is Thing 1, Thing 2, which brought by the cat, Sally and her brother, and also the cat and the mom. The next one is the Giving Tree. It started with a boy and a tree. The little boy was loved by the tree, and so did the little boy. They developed this mutual love for each other. The boy would often come and play with the tree. The tree offers the boy out of love to him her apples and also her branches and also the branches for the boy to swing, and also the boy would often climb and also play a lot with the tree. But as the time passes, the boy started to growing up. The boy eventually didn't visit that too much the tree, just like before. He visited the tree less and less. As the little boy grew up, his needs and interests also towards the tree changed, up until all of her branches and trunk were offered to the boy just to satisfy the love that the boy seeks. But at the end of the story, when the boy reached old age, the tree had nothing to offer because when the boy was in his middle age, when the boy was in middle age, he was offered the branches, the trunks for him to make his house or anything out of his interests and needs. But as soon as the boy reached old age, the tree has nothing to offer because the tree offered almost everything except for the tree's um, stump to make a chair out of it. So the boy was happy, and so did the tree. So the story or the picture book, The Giving Tree, the theme revolves around generosity, love, sacrifice, joy of giving, and also growing old. Setting is in a forest near a residential site. Lesson is loving someone unconditionally who without expecting. Loving someone unconditionally without expecting anything in return. It is also said that the moral lesson is said to be the dangers of being selfish, taking without return, and also appreciation. The last is the Where the Wild Things Are. It begins with a rambunctious young boy named Max, who is fond of misbehavior. So we can see that this child is fond of making um, unwanted behaviors. His mother calls him a wild thing, which make which makes him anger that much of what her mother calls him, because of what his mother calls him. With his anger, his imagination runs wild and transforms his bedroom into a jungle or a wild forest. In his imagination, he met monsters, but he isn't afraid to any of them because he is not intimidated, but he intimidated these monsters. So with that, the monsters that he created in his imagination made him as their leader or made him as their king. And then after all of that, he begins to miss his mother because of the loneliness that he felt. So soon after that, he felt this loneliness and began to miss his mother. So he returns home, which means that he woke up, where he finds his dinner inside his room. So the characters involved in these, where the wild things are the following: Max and his mother, monsters, in which Max created in his imagination. The theme revolves around child's imagination versus reality. The setting is in Max's house, and the lesson is don't become disrespectful to your mother. Don't become disrespectful to your parents, especially to your mother, and the danger of misbehaving.